Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this special Monday Sixers Game 1 versus Miami preview show of the Sully Squad. We're going to get into a ton of things tonight, mainly the Sixers Miami Game 1. And then we're also filled. I think Howie Roseman. What do you think? I think Howie Roseman seriously redeemed himself this weekend.
Yeah, so far so good, man.
So we got a lot to get into. We got the Phillies. I mean, the Phillies got no hit on Friday night. Lost 2 out of 3 to the Mets. So anyway, we got a ton to get into here. But anyway, before we do, I got my man Diego. How you doing, Diego?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Doing pretty good. And I got my man Paul right next to me. How you doing, Paul?
Good. What's up, everybody?
Doing pretty good. So obviously, as a diehard football fan and NFL fan, I want to get into a lot of draft talk. But let's keep it real, though. I mean, we got a huge game tonight. 7:30 tonight. And, unfortunately, I think the whole city's kind of been, taken aback with the Joel Embiid injury. So I'll ask you, Diego. I know we were talking earlier today. What's your thoughts? Can they win without Embiid?
They can definitely win without Embiid. Does it suck that we don't have our MVP on the court? Of course, that's terrible, but they spaced the floor. No one clogging up the lane tonight. We got shooters, We brought James Harden for a reason. I mean, I think it's time. He had a great game the other night in the closeout game against Toronto. Yeah. Maxey, I don't know how they're going to match up on Maxey because they're not the same athletic team that Toronto is. They don't have 5-6 guys that can just switch on to them. They're going to get stuck in some. They're going to get stuck in some mismatches with Tyler Hero. Who knows if PJ Tucker and Jimmy Butler can even stay in front of them at their age and Jimmy Butler's old knee. No Kyle Lowry. So I think we definitely got a chance. How about you? What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean they couldn't stop Maxey last game, and then Embiid didn't play. Harden didn't play either. I mean, have Harden. So we match up well. I think we match up well with them. I mean, even the stats are so even throughout the series. I mean, this year. So yeah, definitely have a chance. As long as our shooters are on. You know what I mean? Like if a Maxey's shooting 3 for 10, and then Tobias is breaking, and then we have a problem. But as long as those guys can actually are on tonight, then yeah, we definitely have a chance. I'm hoping, no Embiid. I'm hoping at least a split here. I'd love to give up 2-0, obviously, but, they expect Embiid back game 3 or 4. If we can, at least split the home there, then I think we're in good shape.
How about you, Joe?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you. Well, you and I were talking about earlier today at work, and, as crazy as it sounds, and maybe this makes me a little nervous because I'm feeling surprisingly really good tonight. It's kind of like the backup quarterback, backup goalie, theory. I mean, Kyle Lowry's out. Yeah. Jimmy Butler's going to play, I believe, but he's kind of banged up. I think even Hero's a little banged up. I mean, they got a lot of guys.
I mean, he's got an upper respiratory infection.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's not banged up. Yeah, PJ Tucker's been dealing with an injury for the last couple of games. He's been missing practices.
Yeah, and they have no idea when Lowry is going to come back either.
Lowry out.
Yeah.
As you were saying, Jay?
I was going to say I'm feeling a win. I mean, I don't know about the series, obviously, because even if Joel does come back, in game 3, I mean, he's going to have to wear that mask. That's going to take a lot of getting used to.
He hates the mask.
He's done it before, though, didn't he?
Yeah, he hated it
before.
Yeah, he did it before.
Yeah, now you combine that injury now with the problem with his thumb too, so he's definitely banged up.
Yeah, I'm feeling a win tonight. I got to keep it real. I'm feeling a win tonight. I don't know. I think maybe I'm looking at it through Sixers rose-colored glasses. I'm not sure, but I have a feeling that these guys are going to step up. I think. Miami plays great defense, but the last game, I mean, Tyrese Maxey straight up lit them up.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Whatever he shot went in Maxey last time.
So yeah, I'm kind of feeling a win. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, Doc had some time to put a little game plan together. Without Embiid, he knew for the last 4 days, 4 days, 4 days that he wasn't going to have Embiid. So James Harden was talking the other day after practice. He said it was like a vibe in there. So to me, it sounded like everyone had a good practice. You know, you never know. You also
you're hoping that what do you call him starting tonight, right?
Paul Reed.
Paul Reed, yeah.
Yeah, that's to me. That's a he should get the starting minutes.
Jordan will spell him then, I guess.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Without Joel Embiid, in order for them to win, they're going to have to run. They're going to have to get fast break points because Embiid's not going to be on the court for it to help them in their in the half court offense. Now I know Harden likes doing that ISO, but Harden's not the same ISO Harden he used to be, where he could just score at will sometimes. You know what I mean? So we're going to have to run. We're going to have to, and rebounding is going to be more important than it is without Embiid than with them. We really got to get boards. We got to get up the court. Yeah, you got to get them old guys on the other team running. Butler's not young. PJ Tucker's not young. Strus isn't a great runner. Tyler Hero's not a great runner. We got to get in front of these guys. Now, that's another question that I'm going to ask you. Do you think Thibault's playable? How much Thibault can we play in this series?
I think Thibault's playable. Yeah, definitely. I mean,
to me, I think they're screwed either way they play without Embiid now. Because without Embiid, you're losing out on what, 20-something points a game? 28 points a game? So you got to make that up. You ain't making it up, and Thibault's just taking up a spot out there.
True.
Yeah, well, I know. But
if you go Niang, your defense is going to be so bad now without Embiid that you might give up 140 points.
Yeah, well, the one thing, though, Miami's good offensively, but Miami's not the most explosive offensive team. I mean, it's not like you're going against like the Phoenix Suns or Golden State or something. You know what I mean? Like Miami plays a lot of team ball offensively. Like they don't really have that superstar. I mean, Jimmy Butler is a really good player, but he's not like, he may have a game that he puts up like 30 or 40 here and there, but he's more of like a 17 to 24, you know what I mean? Kind of efficient type player, play his defense, I'll tell you, the guy I think is going to be the most annoying guy of the series is Tyler Hero.
Yeah. Well, they got
Tyler Hero's going to be the hit-to-face guy.
They got the guy Max Strus, who shoots over like 40% from three. Tyler Hero, who shoots the same, and Duncan Robinson, who shoots the same. They have three of the same exact guys. And when we go to Niang, we're so bad on defense, they can literally play all three of them guys with Bam and Jimmy Butler.
Right. No, I hear you. We got a couple comments here. I got our man Chris Rapizzi. He said, "I never miss a show." He's at his son's baseball game. What's up, man? How you doing?
Hope your son wins the game.
Hell yeah! And then our man Mike Lauro from the Gobbler Show. He says, "Sup, boys? Sixers win tonight. Shock the world." We're all in agreement, Mike.
Yep.
I agree, Mike.
Totally agree with you there. In fact, so obviously we have the game prediction. So we got this right here. So we already kind of made our prediction. I mean, I'm thinking a Sixers win, something like maybe like 103-99, something like that.
I think it'll be
something in that ballpark.
Yeah.
Like James Harden said, James Harden's going to get people open shots. They got to tighten up on defense. If they play defense and don't make mistakes, you know what I mean, on defense, everyone steps up, they got a real chance to win. If they have no defense because Embiid's not out there, no rim protection, they might get smoked out of the series. It can go two ways with Embiid out there or not. So I got the Sixers winning this game 108-102.
Yeah, Mike Lauro has Sixers 105, Heat 101. So he's right. He's kind of right around where I am.
It's gonna be definitely gonna be close no matter what. But yeah.
You know what's funny? Every time I hear Kyle Lowry, I want to say Kyle Lowry.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing we haven't brought up about Miami is Eric Spoelstra. That's tough.
Hey,
that's a battle inside the game. Coaching. Who's going to outcoach who? Who's going to make the right adjustments? To me, Eric Spoelstra is a better coach.
Oh, I totally agree. I mean, I'm not, I don't think Doc Rivers has had a bad year, although I got to admit, I kind of wanted to strangle Doc Rivers for leaving Embiid out there up 29 points. I mean, you know what that reminded me of? It reminded me of Remember when the Sixers played the Bulls back in 2012 and Derrick Rose was out there and Derrick Rose like tore his knee with like a minute left in the game?
Yeah.
It reminded me of like the same exact thing.
Yeah, but every single starter was out on the court.
Yeah, but we were up 29.
I know, I get it, but like every starter is out on the court. Usually in a blowout, you take them all out at the same exact time.
He said his reasoning for that was because Toronto still had all their starters in there.
That's what I mean. I don't blame Doc for that.
Yeah, I hear you. Normally, I wouldn't. If all the starters are out there, normally I would give him a pass. But and Doc Rivers is known to blow big leads. Believe me, I realize that. But there was only like 4 or 5 minutes left in the game. I mean, you're not going to blow 29
like
points,
440 or something like that.
Yeah, here's Chris Rapizzi right here. He says Harris going to have a huge game. I could see that.
Well, Harris going to have.
He's going to need to.
Exactly, Joe. He's going to fall. He's going to need to.
Him and Maxey.
It's paid. He is paid all that money. It's his time to put up the numbers.
Yeah, you were breaking up. I don't know if it's us or you, but yeah, I mean, like you said, I think I kind of grasped what you said. Basically, Tobias Harris gets paid an awful lot of money, so it's his time to step up. Pretty much, is that what you were saying?
Exactly what I said. Yep, that's exactly what I said.
Yeah, and my man right here, Pat Bernard from the Gobbler Show, he shot me a text, and I'll tell you what he said here. He said he can't comment. I don't know for some reason, but he said the Heat are going to make James Harden shoot the rock. He's going to be the Heat's #1 target on defense. I mean, I could see that.
I think the Heat's #1 target on defense is going to be Tyrese Maxey.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's the last game, definitely. I mean, they smoked him. He smoked
James Harden's not a great defender. What I've seen, James Harden's not a terrible defender.
No.
James Harden got that old man strength.
Right.
You know, that's the one thing about James Harden. He's got that, he's got that old man strength. You know, when people try to body him up or try to take him down low, he's got some force behind him. You know what I'm saying? That's years of partying and years of the clubs, you know?
Someone said that James Harden got to Miami like 3 days early to hang out.
Yeah, he went straight from Game 6 in Toronto to Miami.
He making that joint. Yo, hey, you know what? I don't care what he does. He can make that joint rain as much as he wants, as long as he's making some jumpers rain. Because let's keep it real, man. You know, we're going to need James Harden to win us a game. Yeah. That's how I view it. I mean, is he still capable of it? Well, I certainly hope so. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I feel like everyone has to step up now with him. See, I don't put it all on James Harden because I feel like James Harden wasn't brought here to be our #1 guy and take he was supposed to be Embiid's counterpart and give Embiid a couple when Embiid's off to come up big. He wasn't brought here to be the guy. You know what I'm saying? And to take over games and win. So to me, it has to be a collective effort now that Embiid's out. You take the MVP off any team, and I don't care who you have, you're going to have a lot of work to do collectively.
Yeah. Tell you what, speaking of guys that stepped up, how about Giannis yesterday? I mean, is that dude a beast or what? I mean, because
he's the best player in the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, Diego knows because we talk about we're at work and like we practically do the show at work all day, pretty much. You know what I mean? So me and him are talking, and I'm sitting there like, man, Boston's going to be tough to beat, and I still think that's going to be a hell of a series, by the way, because Diego's like Milwaukee's taking it, but I think Boston wins game 2. But point is though is like, Giannis out there. I mean, they had no Chris Middleton, and Giannis was like, yo, hop on my back, I got you. Right. You know what I'm saying? That dude is legit. And then the other good game, I mean, Golden State Memphis was a good game.
Yeah, great game.
John
Moran, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson's shot ridiculous right there.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Klay Thompson's starting to look a little bit like Klay Thompson again.
Well, Klay Thompson's cold. You know what I mean? Like he don't feel pressure. So game 1 of the playoffs, you're down by 2. He hits a 3. to put him at 1. Like that's such Klay Thompson-ish,
Yeah.
He just did what Klay Thompson does.
Yeah, here's Mike Lara right here. He says people forget the Sixers beat the Heat without Harden and Embiid. No, I hear you, Mike.
People forget that was the regular season.
Yeah, that's the thing. But Maxey did step up, and that's you're right, because that's 182. But I get
people forget that's a different game. The regular season and the playoffs are two different NBAs.
Yeah, definitely. I have the season stats right here. Miami had slight edge in points, 404 to 400. Assists 92 to 89. We had a slight edge in rebounds, 164 to 159. We shot 44.8, Miami 44.6. Look how even that is.
That's pretty even. That's a pretty dead even team. That's what Embiid though.
Yes, yeah. Well, yeah, but he didn't play that game with Maxey, so
that was that game?
Well, it was one of them. He was going over season stats.
Okay, all right. That's what I thought. I was
so you figure, and actually you figure no Embiid and Harden the one game, and then the other game was no Harden. So it's like you said there, Diego. I mean, regular season and playoffs is two totally different. I mean, it's not even in the same ballpark. You know what I mean? Because 1 out of 82. I think they played Miami. I think it was a Monday night.
Only 6 players played in all 4 Philadelphia Miami games this season. Maxey, Isaiah Joe, and Harris, and then for Heat, Tucker, Robinson, and Strus.
Okay.
Only players that played in all 4 games.
And Chris Rapizzi right here, he's got a question. He said, any news about Marcus Smart? He got hurt. Apparently he got hurt.
Dislocated shoulder. They haven't set his timetable yet, but dislocated shoulder.
Is all I'm seeing now is it says Boston Celtics Marcus Smart expected to be questionable for game 2 due to a quad injury.
If he can't play game 2, but the Bucks go 2-0-2, I think.
Well, if that's the case, that series is it. They take the first 2 in Boston, that John's over.
That's what I mean. I feel like if Marcus Smart's out there, Marcus Smart gives them a lot. He's their leader. He's their leader. He keeps that defense together. He's Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you guys. So listen, we're on tonight. I believe by the time we do this show again, there'll be 4 games played. So obviously, I think hopefully this will be a long series because
we'll probably be down 3-1. Hopefully this will be a long series.
Okay. So just before we get to game 1, what do you think? What would be your series prediction? And now I'm basing this on Embiid. Let's imagine Embiid comes back in game 3. He's like the phantom of the process. He wears the mask. And so what do you think with an Embiid coming back? Do you think that we can win this series? Like what's your thoughts?
I see this series 2 different ways. I feel like you steal one in Miami, you get Embiid back game 3. I think Sixers win the series in 7. If that's the case. If you lose both in Miami, you're going back with like no one's excited to go back to Philly to a hurt Embiid. You go back 1-1, everybody's excited to go back to a hurt Embiid. You know what I mean? Like, all right, dude, we can carry you. We just did it. We stole one there. We can steal a couple more. You know what I'm saying? But you got to get one in Miami to be able to be in this series. In my opinion, I have a feeling Sixers win, but like any basketball fans looking at this and going, Miami in 6?
Yeah, that would suck. So, that means they beat us on our 4.
That's my unhomer opinion. Me as a Philadelphia fan, I do see a path of victory for the Sixers. So I want to say 6 and 7. My basketball, I guess, knowledge says Miami in 6.
What's your thoughts, Paul?
Yeah,
if I put a gun to your head, what would you say?
Kind of on the same level as Diego. Like, again, like I said in the beginning, we need to steal a game here, whether it's one or both. We going back home down 0-2, and then Embiid's playing with that mask, and he's already banged up with the thumb injury. If that's the case, then I think we're out in 6. But if Embiid comes back and he's effective, and we go back home 1-1, I say we can pull this out. The game, like a 7-game series. Yep. But it's definitely not going to be easy. It's definitely going to be close. It's not going to be any blowout games, So, we're in for a battle. It all depends on how Embiid progresses and how we do in his first 2 games.
All right. You know what? Enough of this hemming and hawing bullshit, okay? I'm pulling a James Harden, and I'm putting my balls on the table like James Harden probably did the last 2 nights at the club. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying Sixers in 6. All right?
In 6.
Hell yeah. I'm saying Sixers in 6. I'm putting them on the table. Enough of this crap.
All right, so what are you really saying now?
What?
What are you really saying now?
That is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm putting them on the table, man. Especially considering that John Lieb texted me. John Lieb texted me and said the Sixers are cursed and the Sixers.
Well, that's huge.
That's all huge. I needed to hear.
That's huge. That's huge.
That's all I needed to hear. That tells me they're going to find a way to steal one of these games in Miami.
6 and 4.
Yeah, they're going to steal. They're going to steal the game tonight. Then they're going to win. I think they're going to steal the game tonight, and then they're going to split in Philly. So it's going to be 2-2 after 5. Game 5 in Miami is going to be a really pivotal, hard-fought game. I think the Sixers are going to find a way to they're just going to find a way to win that game. It's going to be like a dog fight, street fight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then when it comes back to Philly, they're not letting it go to Miami, and they're going to take them out in 6. That's what I think. Bunch of street fights. And my man Mike Laura right here, he says both teams are even, 76ers and 7. I mean, I can see that. I'm saying 6 because I want to. We could close them out at home. If it goes to 7, it's always tough to beat a team on their home floor. You know what I mean? Especially in a game 7. So that's why I'm saying Sixers and 6.
That's true, Joe. We got to go there to play game 7.
Yeah, but hey, so anyway, I'm getting all excited here because I'm sitting here and I'm talking about, putting my balls on the table and having some guts and blah, blah, blah. And, I'll tell you, man, there's another guy that put his balls on the table. And that's my man, Howie Roseman.
Yes, he did. He showed everybody.
I'm going to tell you, man, I'm having flashbacks to 2017, the Super Bowl year. Yeah, Howie was executive of the year that year. I mean, yeah, did he screw up the draft? I mean, yeah, that draft was horrible, but everything else he touched that year went to gold. And I don't know, man. I love this. I love the Eagles draft. I loved everything about it. I love Jordan Davis. I think they're going to go to a little bit more 34 defense, exotic type blitzes. Jordan Davis could eat up 2 blockers, and then getting AJ Brown. I mean, my God, like that was so exciting.
Definitely.
You watch
he's 24. He's 24 years old, right?
Yeah, he's 24.
No, 26, right? 26,
no, he's 24.
24.
Yeah, yeah. So 20. I mean, you're getting a guy. I'm so glad they did that too, because all these years we draft these wideouts and we always draft the wrong guy.
Yeah.
Well, you traded for a guy that's already been a Pro Bowler that's only 24 years old.
AJ Brown's proven. Rookie season, 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns. His second year, 1,000 yards, 11 touchdowns. This year, he had 850-something yards. He missed 4 games. That's another 1,100 yard season. Like, only Odell Beckham had a better start to his career.
Yeah. I mean, and the dude, then you look at the dude and he's, I'm not saying he's built like T.O. because T.O. was built like a freaking Greek.
No, I'll tell you what. He's built like T.O. He's just
that's what I was thinking. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like when you watch him catch that ball over the middle, I mean, he's probably the most physical receiver that we've had since T.O.
In my opinion, he's the second most physical receiver in the league behind DK Metcalf, who was his teammate in college, and they both pumped iron together to get that big and that crazy athletic. They're the same exact player. We got like DK Metcalf's clone.
Yeah.
He's like 6'4", like 2'8". He's a freak of nature. He shouldn't be able to be that big and be a wide receiver and run that fast.
Now let's hope
that kind of player.
Get him the ball.
Yeah, so
AJ Brown makes Jalen Hurts' job so much easier. AJ Brown's got a catching radius of like 11 feet or something like that. Jalen Hurts is going to throw balls in his direction this year. That last year, when he threw him to Jalen Reagor, who's trash, or Quez Watkins, who's small, looked like he was behind him. AJ Brown's catching them passes. You know what I mean? With
Yeah,
them,
like Reader's out of here though. Looks like he's out of here.
it looks that way. They said he can get his own trade, but you know what I mean? Jalen Hurts is gonna look a lot better, even if he didn't get better when he throws to AJ Brown. Something that would have been high over Jalen Rager's head is right in AJ Brown's wheelhouse.
Yeah. I mean, and one of the criticisms of Jalen Hurts was the fact that sometimes he wouldn't pull the trigger. And and Diego, I mean, me and you have said that many times. But let's also be honest. Sometimes you're a little afraid of pulling the trigger when you're throwing the JJ Rager.
Exactly.
Rager,
Exactly.
And JJ Ortega horrible.
He only trusted 1.5 guys last year. He trusted Devontae Smith, and he trusted Goddard sometimes. Goddard dropped a lot of passes last year for like a tight end. I feel like he dropped like a ton of passes. So now he has 2 guys he can legitimately trust throwing it anywhere on the field.
And he got the guy from Minneapolis too.
Another thing, I say it too. Jalen Hurts got a terrible D ball, right? It's not a nice D ball. When you got AJ Brown, just put it up. This guy goes and gets them passes. He just goes up, he high points the ball. He'll make your bomb look nice. Yeah. That's why I love that we got him.
Hey, I mean, obviously, the Super Bowl year, like obviously there were so many big plays in that Super Bowl. Well, one of the big plays that got lost in the shuffle was the first touchdown we had. Alshon Jeffrey went up and got that ball. We haven't had a receiver be able to do that since Alshon Jeffrey was good.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because Alshon Jeffrey sucked after then. But but that year he was good.
Exactly. If you look at all the best teams, like all the best receivers in the league, right? You get down to like the 3-yard line, right? You run it one time, you run it the second time. Say it's 3rd and 1. Sometimes they just call a fade to the best receiver in the back of the end zone. You just throw it up to him right there, and AJ Brown will get that ball.
Yeah, got a couple. I was gonna say, got a couple comments here. To your point, we were talking about Dallas Goedert. Mike Lauro says Dallas Goedert's about to go off.
I agree.
I agree with him. I agree with him here. Mike also says, I want to get to this in a minute, but Mike also says Birds missed out on Honey Badger. We'll get to that in a second. My man Chris Rapiz, he said, did we give up too much for Brown? I don't think so at all. We gave up, the 18th pick, which honestly, A.J. Brown's better than anybody we would have taken at number 18, at least in my opinion.
I agree.
And we gave up a 3rd-round pick. I mean, that's the cost of doing business. I mean, you look at, what some of these wide receivers, I mean, the Raiders gave up, a 1 and a 2 for Devontae Adams. Now, granted, Devontae Adams is the best receiver in the game, probably. Miami gave up, like a 1, a 2, a 3, like all kinds of stuff for Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
So to me, A.J. Brown is good enough, and A.J. Brown is really good. And for what they gave up, I mean, it's a no-brainer to me.
Yeah.
Another thing, you get him this year for $4.6 million. And then next year the extension kicks in. So you get a really cheap year from A.J. Brown here.
Exactly. And another part, Chris Rapizzi right here, he says, so this year it's hurt season, do or die. I mean,
100%.
I whether you're a Jalen Hurts fan or not, I think we all have to be in agreement that this is his time to shine.
Yeah, definitely.
Because let's keep it real. I mean, I know it's way too early to look at mock drafts for next year.
Quarterbacks, right?
But next year, supposedly in the top 10 picks, I looked at now granted, I know it changes because if you looked at a mock draft last year, the kid from North Carolina would have been a top 10. So you really can't go off a mock draft now. But to put it in perspective, there's like 4 quarterbacks that are supposed to go in like the top 10 next year. And that'll change.
That'll change.
But I think it's pretty safe to say possibly the kid from Alabama will go top 10. The kid Stroud from Ohio State. And then there's another kid
from Kentucky, right?
Yeah, there's another. Yeah, there's at least like 3 kids out there supposed to go top 10. So if Jalen Hurts doesn't take that step, I think it's pretty safe to say that Howie Roseman and the Eagles are going to be looking to make a move, especially with having all these weapons.
Yeah. To me,
first rounders.
We have 2 first-round picks. Yeah.
To me, I mean, everyone knows my opinion on Jalen Hurts. Everyone knows my opinion. In my opinion, I seen enough last year. But granted, we did just add, in my opinion, a top 10 receiver in the NFL. someone who can make a quarterback better, someone who can give a quarterback a lot more confidence to let the ball go. You know what I mean? And no quarterback really. I was one of them saying, "Oh, let's go get Willis, let's go get Carroll, let's go get." In reality, they slipped to the third round for a reason. They weren't clear-cut guys that you go and just go, "Oh, we're going to get this guy because we need a quarterback." If Malik Willis's comparison was Jalen Hurts coming into the league, if that's what we're getting, then we might as well just stick with what we got and see if we got a year left out of him.
Yep.
Matt Carroll supposedly has issues also. You know, Pickett, his hands are supposedly small. So there was no one really to reach for in this draft either. In my opinion, it was get Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson. If not, you go on this year with Jalen Hurts, and this is where we're at. So it's do or die for Jalen Hurts. Now you can't tell me he's developing when you got AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, and Dallas Goedert and Miles Sanders. That's your offense. That you're loaded. You're loaded to be a great quarterback. Now it's time to do it.
Yep.
No, I mean top 2 or 3 offensive line, top running game, unbelievable weapons. There's no reason why this team doesn't score 30 points a week. And
I'll tell you one thing.
Huh?
Go ahead, Joe. Go ahead. Finish what you're saying.
No, I'm just saying, if this team doesn't score 30 points a week, then that's an issue with the quarterback. And I like Jalen Hurts. I like the kid. I love everything about him. But let's be honest, though, 30 points a week, or there's an issue with the quarterback because you're set up. How many teams out there? And this is one of the reasons I'm so surprised none of these quarterbacks wanted to come here, because you're going to a top 2 or 3 offensive line, a top running game, and you're going to really explosive weapons. Like, how could you not win here?
We just got AJ Brown, though.
I understand that, but still, though, I mean, if I'm the Eagles, if I'm Howie Roseman, and say there's a veteran quarterback that might want to come here, I'm talking to him and I'm being like, "Hey, look, man, I'm going to go get you a wide receiver. Do you want to play under this offensive line?" I mean, it must be something with the city, or there must be some reason, maybe weather. Who knows?
I mean, we might have not got AJ Brown if Jalen Hurts wasn't his best friend.
Probably.
Well, that's true. So yeah, that's a factor for Jalen. That's a factor for Jalen Hurts. And here's a couple guys. Here's an interesting guy right here. Mike Lauro says he loved the fact that they got Carson Strong as an undrafted free agent. I mean,
that dude's an undrafted free agent for a reason, dude. I don't want to hear anybody call for Carson Strong this year. Keep that bogus out of here. If Jalen Hurts stinks, it's Gardner Minshew. I don't want to hear Carson Stroud, unrestricted free agent. You don't miss on that. Let's be real. People don't just miss on quarterbacks in a quarterback-driven league and let them go undrafted. Come on.
Well, Tom Brady.
Tom Brady, he went, though. Tom Brady was at least good enough to go in the 6th. The man had 7 rounds to go, and now everyone's like, "I like that week." He ain't the first guy I heard say it. I heard on the radio a couple times today. Like, come on, he has a strong arm. He can throw it deep. Dude can't move out of my way. The dude has zero mobility in an NFL-driven league. That you need mobility. Strong. Dude can't move.
Kurt Warner. Kurt Warner thought he only won. Carson
Strong's the next Kurt Warner.
Yeah, please save it. Dude can't move. And even, all right, for example, your most stationary quarterbacks that's not named Tom Brady is probably Matthew Stafford and Joe Burrows. They can at least move. This dude, Carson Strong, can't even move like them. He can't even move like Carson Wentz.
Speaking of Carson Wentz, the Redmond call Redskins drafted a quarterback, and they had to reassure Carson Wentz that it was just for developmental reasons. You see that? Yeah,
the Commanders drafted the kid, what was it, Sam Howell from North Carolina, I think the 5th round. Yeah, and they made it a point. They're like, "Oh yeah, we told Carson Wentz that it was strictly for developmental reasons."
Yeah.
the dude's so soft, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. So obviously, that's the AJ Brown. That's the AJ Brown part of the trade. So I guess I won't even bother putting that up since we got that. So let's I guess the rest of the draft. I mean, what would your draft grade be? I mean, as far as all right, so we got the D tackle from Georgia. I'll tell you, I really like the center. The center we got from Wisconsin. I mean, they say he could play guard too. But I like
helped with that.
Yeah, I like that kid. I mean, Nakobe Dean in the 3rd round. I love that.
Yeah, me too.
The
only thing
draft.
I wasn't thrilled about the first one. Like I wanted the safety from Notre Dame, but we'll see how it plays out. But I
actually agree. I agree with you 100%, Paul. That's who I wanted. I wanted Kyle Hamilton.
Yeah, me too.
But this dude's also freak of nature. Like it's not Justin Jefferson or Jalen Reagor. You get what I'm saying? Like I feel like both these guys are studs. You know what I'm saying? So I don't feel like either way it was a miss. It was more of what Howie wanted over. Like, get what I'm saying? Both superstars, in my opinion.
Yeah, and Mike Lauro, he gives the draft an A+. I agree with him. I love what we did. He had a comment earlier because as much as I did love the draft, and we didn't take Kyle Hamilton. So, obviously we saw the Saints sign the Honey Badger today.
Yeah.
So it gets me to thinking because we, you look at our safety depth. I mean, who do we have? We have Omar Epps. Last time I saw Omar Epps, he was carrying a football around in the movie The Program, right? Right. So we got Omar Epps out there. We got, don't fumble the ball. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we got Anthony Harris. So at least he's all right.
Anthony Harris is okay. You got, is Kayvon Wallace ever going to play? I mean, you did. I mean, like you did draft him in like the 5th round. I remember he was supposed to be like the quote unquote steal a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens there.
See, he got into a couple games this year and then he got hurt. So he kind of lost traction last year. Maybe they want to give him some time this year. Maybe they see something in him. I don't know.
Well, here's an interesting thought, and I'm just pulling this out of my head. The Ravens. So the Ravens signed Marcus Williams, and they drafted Kyle Hamilton. So Chuck Clark is only 26 years old. He's a safety. He's on the trade. He's asking for a trade. He's from Philadelphia. My brother-in-law, who's a Ravens fan, said he's not a star, but he's a real nice player. He's almost probably like a Rodney McLeod type guy. Maybe I'm probably better than him at this point in McLeod's career. So here's a thought: maybe you could trade Jalen Reagor to Baltimore along with like a late round pick for like a little change of scenery because Baltimore traded Marquise Brown, and maybe you can get yourself Chuck Clark. Bring Chuck Clark in. What do you think?
I'm all for that. Eagles need a lot of help in the secondary. I feel like we could be a bad team because our secondary is so bad.
Yeah,
like we're gonna have to average 30 points per game if we can't find a way. Because the dude Epps sucks, dude. He sucks. Watching him play last year.
I want to say that too, but they seem to like him, and I will say I don't think he's good enough. I'll put it that way, but he seemed to play a little better last year than he did the year before. So they seem to like him for some reason.
Well, then he's probably our guy along Harris then. If you let McLeod just walk away, McLeod would have been cheap to bring back, then you must really like Epps. In my opinion, dude's trash. But you can't what's out there to pick up? Maybe you get that guy Chuck Clark. If you don't get him, then that's who you're rolling with.
Yeah, I mean that's who I'd look for. And then as far as free agent corner, I mean, well, they have that kid Zach McPherson they drafted last year. I mean, I'm not a fan, but they seem to maybe develop them. They got that kid Tay Gowan that they traded for. In the Zach Ertz trade. Yeah. Here's Chris Rapizzi here with a comment. He said Nakobe Dean, he heard he's refusing surgery. Yeah, but I mean, I don't think he needs. Apparently, some of the Eagles doctors, some doctors said he doesn't necessarily need surgery.
Nakobe Dean himself said that he went to multiple doctors and got second opinions from multiple doctors, and they all said he could play. He doesn't need surgery. In my opinion, he's going to need surgery eventually. When you start banging with these big guys in the NFL, you're going to re-hurt that injury where it's going to come to, okay, you need surgery. That's fine, though. We got him in the 3rd round.
Exactly. A third rounder. I mean, he could have gone in the 1st round. Here's Mike Lauro. He wanted Jaquan Brister from Penn State. I like Jaquan Brister, too.
I like Jaquan Brister, too.
Yeah, Paul Paul Spencer from the 215 boys. What's up, Paul? How you doing? Dallas needs a safety too. Just lost KZ to the Steelers today. And then here's Paul's. Paul has his draft grades. He said Eagles and Giants each with A's. I agree with that. As a Giants hater, I got to keep it real. I think the Giants had a really good draft. Well, at least the first 2 picks. Some of their picks later in the draft, I didn't. They made a lot of trades. I really didn't see the direction they were going late in the draft. But I mean, anytime you pick 5th and 7th, I mean, if you screw that up, you're freaking village idiot. You know what I mean? But teams have.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, I've had Jets tickets since 2017, and they screw up the draft every year. Except for this year. The JETS Jets finally got an adult in the room because I thought the Jets had the best draft of anybody, to be honest with you. The Jets draft was unbelievable. And I love the running back the Jets took in the second round. Yeah. He's going to be a stud. Watch. Yeah. He's going to be a stud. You watch. I'm telling you right now, in rookie only keeper leagues, he's a guy you want to grab because the Jets offense is going to be much better, and that kid's going to be good. So he's got Cowboys with a B. I see that, and then Reds. What do you call it? Commanders with a C. And then here's Paul Spencer right here. He agrees with me. He said Jets got 4 starters in the first 4 picks. Breece Hall, that's his name. Breece Hall. He was the number 1 running back taken. So if you look at the Jets draft, arguably, I mean, you could argue between Stingley and Sauce Gardner. So let's just say, for argument's sake, Sauce Gardner is the best corner. So you got the best corner. Then you got the best, possibly the best receiver in Wilson. Then you got Jermaine Johnson, one of the top pass rushers that was supposed to go in the top 10 to 15 at what, like 20 in the high 20s, right? I forget exactly where he was picked. They traded up, and then you got the best runner. And they even got a nice tight end. The tight end they got from Ohio State, I think that kid can play a little bit. I can't remember his name. Yeah. So they had a great draft, man.
Well, now Zach Wilson needs to step up and prove it.
So available, is Trey Wayne still available?
I believe so.
Trey Wayne's Joe Hayden. Is Joe Hayden still available?
I'm not sure. I'm going to Google Trey Wayne's right now. Trey Wayne's played under Jonathan Gannon in Minnesota, I believe. Yeah. Minnesota, yeah. So he knows his system. I mean, I don't think he's a great man-to-man guy at this point, but he can play his own. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it says...
It's saying
no. He went to the Bengals.
Okay, did he? Okay, yeah, he did. Well,
I'm trying to find on Google what available cornerbacks there still is, and it's hard to look it up. It doesn't pop up like that. So,
dude, I think I'm telling you. We may not agree, but I think they like McPherson and they like Gallen and these guys more than we do. I think they're going to defend it I think they are going to try to develop them.
Yeah, but even if you try to develop them, you still got to pick somebody up who's serviceable. You got to add depth to the quarterback position, don't you?
I mean, I agree, but I'm just saying, I mean, they traded for Gallen, they got McPherson, maybe. Yeah, you look at it like this. There may be guys like, don't they usually have some vets that get cut after June 1st? Usually for salary caps.
Possibly.
I mean, there may be another veteran guy that's cut.
These seem to be all available.
Looks like what's
your name's not updated? But Joe Hayden, Kyle Fuller, Chris Harris.
Trey Wayne's. Hey, Diego, I think Trey Wayne's is out there. He was on Cincinnati. Right now, he's still a free agent.
Okay.
Vernon Hargreaves pretty decent.
Hargreaves ain't bad.
I think they get somebody. I think they get somebody that's serviceable.
They're going to need to, because even if you do believe in Zach McPherson, what if he gets hurt? You still need some depth. So
we have no depth.
So right now, we're not going to move Avonte Maddox outside. He was terrible outside.
What about Janoris Jenkins? Too old.
Janoris Jenkins.
I would say Janoris Jenkins.
33. Xavier Rhodes is out there.
How about this dude, Kawan Williams? Who's this?
Paul Spencer says Eli Apple, Patrick Peterson, only ones he could think of.
Yeah,
I'll take
Patrick
Eli
Peterson
Apple
got
too.
burned. Patrick Peterson got burned like nothing else.
Yeah, I'm
man.
good with Patrick Peterson. He's washed.
Yeah, definitely.
I would take
Well,
Eli Apple though.
Well then let's go with Zach McPherson.
Let's go Zach McPherson. I don't know. Maybe he got better. Who knows?
Hey, you know what? If you get a really good pass rush, you know what I mean?
Yeah. If you don't need great corners if you get a great pass rush.
No, but you do need serviceable corners, though.
We
you
do.
look at the Super Bowl year. You stop and think. We had Jalen Mills, who was serviceable at best. He was a 7th round pick. We had Ronald Darby, who actually missed a good portion of that year, and then we had Rasul Douglas. And then we had Patrick Robinson as the nickel. If you look at that cornerback play,
it wasn't that great.
No, and we won the Super Bowl. We did give up 500 yards in the Super Bowl, but we won the Super Bowl. Paul Spencer, he said, "How about I give you Anthony Toast Brown?" LOL. You know what's so funny? Anthony Brown's probably better than what we got right now.
Probably.
Not really though, because we got Darius Slay about him. He might be better than Zach McPherson.
Yeah.
We'll see. Maybe the kid can play, man. If you get a good pass rush, and again, some of it goes to system too. The Eagles don't ask their corners to play a lot of man-to-man press. The Eagles play a lot of zone.
That's true.
And so if you're playing zone, you stick a certain area. You're not chasing a guy all over the field. Or you have Darius Slay. Darius Slay locks up the the number one receiver on the other team, and you zone up the other part. You know what I'm saying?
They did resign Nelson, right? Steven Nelson. Did they resign him?
No, Steven Nelson went.
If we go,
I forget. Hang on, I'll tell you. I'll Google him right now. I just saw it too. I just saw it. Hang on. I knew that. This was in my head, and now I completely forgot. Steven Nelson. He went to the Houston Texans.
Oh yeah.
We obviously didn't want him because why the hell would you? Why the hell would you go? Why the hell would you go to the Texans? They blow.
Yeah, it don't make no sense, right?
Yeah, good pass rush. Corners only covering 5 to 6 seconds. Yeah, Paul Spencer, Texans. Yeah. Well, you know what though? It's crazy that I know the Texans stink, but I actually thought they had a pretty good draft. Texans. I like their draft.
They're rolling with Mills, right? Still.
Yeah, they seem to like that kid Davis Mills, and I'll tell you.
And they got Cooks re-signed there too, right? Brandon Cooks.
Yeah, Brandon Cooks re-signed.
Yeah.
The Texans signed some offensive linemen. They got Stingley.
They need a runner, don't they? Runners kind of washed, aren't they?
Yeah, they needed a runner. In fact, the Jets traded up ahead of the Texans in the second round to get that guy Breece. What was it, Hall. Breece Hall? Yeah, because I think they thought that the Texans were going to pick him, which they probably would have.
Yeah.
But that's
because they have David Johnson still over there.
There's a guy that's washed.
Yeah,
David Johnson. David Johnson had a hell of a career, but he's kind of washed.
Yeah,
he's done.
Yeah,
he's done. Phillies play tonight?
What's that?
No, Phillies off till tomorrow. I play Texas Rangers tomorrow.
2-game series, right? It's like a 2-game series.
In Philly, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, speaking of the Phillies, I got to admit, I was kind of I know it was a big early season series with the Mets, but between the NBA playoffs and the NFL draft, I was kind of dialed out on the Phillies. But from what I understand, they lost 2 out of 3. They were no hit on Friday night. So what's your guys' thoughts on the Phillies series with the Mets? I'll tell you, the Mets are playing good ball, man. I'm waiting for them to crash, but they're playing really good.
Well, Phillies supposedly had the hardest schedule in April.
Yeah, May ain't looking too pretty either.
Well,
May's
get to the
too,
first.
man.
Baseball's a long season. You have 2 tough months. You can
play Dodgers twice.
So, you're talking. They had the hardest schedule in April, and they went 11-12 to start the year. Not even in hitting season. I think Phillies are going to be okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you, Diego. I mean, to me, when it comes to baseball, as long as you don't get buried early, and the Phillies lineup, the Phillies' strength is going to be their lineup. So let's keep it real. The Phillies should play their best ball, like you said, in hitting season when the weather gets warm.
Yep.
So even if they're around 500 through part of May, once the middle of June comes and it's like, you got 85, 90-degree days and that ball's flying out of the ballpark, Philly should start having their big winning months in that time.
Right. Yeah, I agree 100%. So 11 and 12, supposedly it was the hardest. We had the hardest schedule this month. Not a bad month.
Well, you look at the world champion Atlanta Braves, and that pains me to say. I know Paul Spencer likes hearing that.
Yeah,
But the world champion Atlanta Braves, I don't believe they got to 500 till like around the All-Star break. I mean, because they got off to a terrible start.
The Washington Nationals in 2019, the year they won the World Series, they started 19 and 37.
Right, I remember that. Yeah,
yeah.
Because I remember it was sometime in June. I think it was like a month from the trade deadline, and people were talking, "Oh, the Nationals are going to start trading people off."
They were saying sellers.
Right, they were going to be sellers, and then the Nationals started. All of a sudden they started playing like at a 750 clip, and then the rest of the year they were on point.
Yep. Yeah, baseball. You just got to stay alive, and then obviously, like we said, once hitting season comes, our strength's hitting. We put up a lot of runs. We win a lot of games.
Yeah, and we did put up 6 runs yesterday, but we gave up 10.
Yeah,
that game was winnable, but our Zach Eflin had a bad game. Bullpen didn't do well, so when we hit 3 home runs off of Scherzer.
Yep.
2 for Schwarber, but in the beginning he was 5, 6 straight strikeouts. I'm like, oh crap, we're in for a long night.
Yeah.
But then he looked beatable yesterday, Scherzer.
Yeah.
It's just that our pitching didn't hold up. And then being no hit on the first game was unacceptable, man. With this offense, with that guy, what's his name? He started out 4-0 this year. The pitcher for them. I mean,
yeah, it's so funny because I was watching the draft on Friday night, and then and because I'm like, when it comes to the draft, I'm like a dork. Like even the third round I'm watching. You know what I mean? Like I watch the draft the whole time. And then like Lieb on our group chat or whatever, like Lieb or somebody went, the Phillies got no hit. And I thought maybe he was kidding. I actually had to look because I was like, oh, this dude must be joking. And then they actually got no hit. I was
they
like,
got no hit.
I'm like, glad I didn't watch that, John. You know what I mean? Like, didn't exactly miss much. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But yeah, Mike Laura right here, he's got a point. He said the bullpen's been really good this year, and that's a key because the only reason we missed the playoffs the last couple of years is because of that bullpen. And then
Noah's pitched 2 pretty good games the last 2 games.
Right. Yeah, and then
our bullpen yesterday gave us 3 or 4 runs.
Well, Eflin sucked yesterday.
Yeah, give up 5 runs, but if a bullpen give up 0, then we would have won. But
Phillies took a 3-2 lead.
Their bullpen. So
Phillies took a 3-2 lead. He starts off the inning, gets due to singles, then very next batter hits a double, and then it's 3-3. Right. It's like, dude, you just gave him the lead right back.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he was off.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, Eflin is a big key to this team. I mean, if you look, hopefully Nola pitches the way he's pitched his last few times out. You got to hope that you might not get, it might be a little bit much to ask Wheeler to do what he did last year, because last year was like a career year. But if you could get a really good Zach Wheeler and a decent Nola, that's 2 guys. Gibson could be serviceable. Who's the other kid? The left-handed kid.
And Ranger. Ranger.
There you go. Yeah. Ranger. I like Ranger, but Ranger's probably going to be coming, he's probably back down to earth a little bit this year. So really the key is really Eflin. I mean, you need Eflin to give you the majority of the time about 6 innings and maybe like 3 runs. You know what I'm saying? And I think that would be, look at this. Mike Laura, Vinny V has been good. Yeah. You know what? He's had stretches. I guarantee you by the time the year ends, it's like last year. Remember last year, Nick Pivetta. Nick Pivetta started off great last year.
Yeah.
And I remember people being like, man, we gave up Nick Pivetta. Nick Pivetta sucks again this year. I think he's got like
10-year array, right? That's what I saw.
Yeah, I only saw a minute of it yesterday. I don't know why I put it. I was setting up my MLB TV on my tablet because I got that tablet. So I put on the Orioles Red Sox game for like 2 minutes just because I was setting up my tablet, and Pivetta just happened to be pitching, and it said he had like 13 walks and 16 innings. I'm like, that's the Nick Pivetta I know and love.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
we didn't really
yeah.
Vinny V will be back to it too. Vinny V will be back to the same thing too.
Oh yeah.
Pavetta's 0-4 right now with a 7.6 or a 7.84 ERA.
Well, he's a stud.
Well,
0-4 to start.
Well, you know what it is? Pivetta and Velasquez both have like unbelievable stuff. And so you've been waiting all these years for these guys to come on. It's
especially with that game he pitched last guy, like 16 strikeouts.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, oh my God, everybody's on his bandwagon. And all of a sudden, like, nah, it never arrived.
I mean, he's been okay. He's been okay. He's got a 4.58 ERA, Vinny V.
For him, that's good though.
Yeah. He's been.
He's like Doc Gooden.
Yeah, he's all right. I mean, he's still all right. He gave up 5, 4, 1. He had 2 good games and 2 pretty bad games. I mean, honestly, if you get that out of Vinny Velasquez, he did good.
Yeah, I mean, if I had Vinny Velasquez on my team and he pitched 30 times and he had 15 good starts, 15 bad starts, I'd be like, yeah, okay, I'll sign me up because at least he had 15 good ones. I mean, most of the time you don't have 15 good ones. You know what I mean? Most of the time he's out there, it's like the 3rd or 4th inning, he's already done. You're like, damn. Yep. You're like, damn, dude. Thanks for saving the bullpen.
He like 70 3rd inning all time.
I never could understand him though, because he's got such great stuff, and then he's out there like nibbling. It's like, dude, like just release the damn ball. You know what I'm saying? Like throw the ball, trust your stuff, and get the dude out. But instead, like he's like a guy that throws like 100, but he acts like he's Jamie Moyer. You know what I'm saying? But he don't have Jamie Moyer's control. Like remember Jamie Moyer? Jamie Moyer would throw like 80 miles an hour.
82.
Right, but you know what though? He used to get all those young guys out. Like I'll never forget. Like I think it was like 2008, and like the Phillies are playing the Marlins down in Miami, and like Moyer's pitching, and you're just like watching it. You're like, man, like you could tell all these young dudes are like just gripping that bat, like, damn, yo, I'm gonna pulverize this joint, and then like at least like 5 or 6 of them little soft pop-ups to like second base because they're so far out in front of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And his location was good.
What's that?
Moyer's location was good. Like he threw 82, 85, but the ball was always where it was supposed to be, which makes it hard to hit.
Yeah. If Moyer was a real estate agent, he would be like the best one ever because he's all about location. It's like location. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, he could. When he was on, he could paint those corners, you know, he would go up and down. I mean, he was good. And there are a lot of, you know what is an interesting trivia question? I'm pretty sure I'm right on this too. Who had the most wins on the 2008 World Series team? I bet you won't get it. Well, you probably will because of how I asked the question, but who had the most wins on the 2008 World Series team? I'm pretty sure
Jamie Moyer.
Pretty sure it was Jamie Moyer. Yeah, I'll check. But I'm just saying though, that's because everybody just assumes it was Cole Hamels, but I'm pretty sure it was Jamie Moyer. I'll have to look though because I didn't look that one up, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Here, hang on. I'll tell you how many wins he had anyway. Let's see. What the hell? What's giving me? Well, I don't know. It's giving me batting stats. What the hell? I don't care about how he batted. Well, anyway. Yeah, anyway, I hit the wrong joint, but whatever, we'll look it up. I know he had a lot of wins. Let's put it like that.
Right.
So, but anyway, who did you say the Phillies played? Who did you say the
Texas Rangers 2-game series tomorrow home?
Okay, so we got the Rangers and then we got the Mets. So let's see. So that's what, six games. I'm gonna say I'm hoping the Phillies go 4-2 in the next 6. And particularly, you got to at least split with the Mets because I don't want to keep falling further behind. So if you got a 4-game series with the Mets, let's at least take 2 so we don't fall further behind.
Jamie Moore was 16-7 in 08.
Yeah, Jamie Moore won 16-7 in 2008.
3.71 ERA.
3.71. Yeah, so we don't win the World Series that year without Jamie Moore.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. Yeah. So Jamie Moore was that guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, I hear you. Shoot, you know how I always look for jerseys. I've been trying to find a Jamie Moore Phillies, John, but I haven't been able to find it.
No?
That would be a nice little get. Yeah, because I mean, how many people? I was gonna say, yeah, how many? I mean, I have most of the rest of that team. I got a Victorino, John, with a World Series patch. I got a Worth. I got a Howard, Utley, Rollins. You know, I got a Hamels, obviously. I even got a Brett Myers, which I don't wear too much though, because Brett Myers, there's a little controversy with Brett Myers.
Did he beat the Vegas up with that?
Yeah,
that's why
Boston, I think Boston, right?
Yeah, that was 2006.
Yeah, I would have rocked that, John.
Nah, I'm not. I know I'm not really a Brett Myers fan, put it that way. But I found it. It was like I found it for like $15 on eBay.
I'll tell you what though, he had that.
You have a Google, don't you?
Yeah.
Remember he had that one at bat during the playoffs where he fouled it off like fucking 20 times.
You know, that was the biggest. Yeah, and then yeah, you're right. And then Victorino hit the grand slam. He tired CC Sabathia out. Yeah. That was one of the loudest moments that Citizens Bank Park ever had. The crowd was crazy. Yeah, I remember that. That game was unreal because everybody predicted us to lose because they had CC Sabathia, and he was like undefeated when he went to Milwaukee.
Yeah,
and Myers had that at bat, and then Victorino hit the slam. And we were cooking after that.
On one of the telecasts I was watching, Victorino sat in the booth, and they actually showed that hit against.
Yeah, that was key. But hey, man, listen, guys, you know what? I mean, we could talk all night, but let's keep it real, man. We got a basketball game coming up in 29 minutes, so we better get the hell out of here. You know what I'm saying?
Let's go.
So anyway, are we all on board for upset tonight?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what you're feeling. All right, so. We're all feeling an upset tonight. Let's get this W. Everybody step up. Paul Reed, let's go, my man. Paul Reed's in February, he said he spoke it into existence that he's going to be an all-star next year. Now, I don't know about all that, but be an all-star tonight, my man.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll tell you what.
Tonight, Paul.
That's right. Paul Reed, no stupid fouls. Come out there, give me hustle points. Give me like 12 to 14 hustle points, a couple blocks. Give me like 8-9 boards. Give me some activity, a couple deflections. Do what you do, dog, and make some plays. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do. Let's go, baby.
And be ready to roll to the rim and let the beard hit you on some dunks. You know?
Yep. Let's
go.
All
right, man. Let's go Sixers. Everybody out there, make sure you check out all the shows on Devereaux Sports tomorrow. In case anybody was wondering, the Philadelphia Flyers ended their season. Anybody care? They suck. All right, but my man Harry Slater is going to have I believe he has Slater Sinbin tomorrow to wrap up these scrubs and hopefully give us a plan on how the hell we can make hockey relevant in this town again, because this team absolutely blows.
They did finish with the fourth best odds of the number one pick.
Yeah, Flyers look like the 12th lottery pick. With the fourth best odds to get it.
Well, can somebody shove a 4-leaf clover down their pants or something to try to get the number one pick? Is there some dude from Siberia out there or something that could be decent? All right.
Yeah, sir.
Yeah, just sneak them in. I know we got issues with Russia, but we need a hockey player. Let's go.
Yep.
All right. And then tomorrow night at 9, we got for all you Union fans out there, we got the attacking third with my man Austin Hamill and Gus. How do you say his name? Severino? Well, Gus.
Seminara.
All right, Seminara. Yeah, Gus is out there. Wednesday, Paul Spencer, you have to correct me. I'm not sure if Paul does this show this week. I apologize. I should have checked. But when Paul does his show, I know it's a Cowboy show and we're in Philly, but it's very informative and it's really good to know about what our rivals are doing. He does a great job. So make sure you check out my man Paul Spencer's show. The Body Slams guys, make sure you check them out on Thursday nights, and check out my man, the Gobbler, on Sunday mornings. And we will be back next Monday, hopefully with the Sixers with the series lead and Joel Embiid kicking some serious butt as the phantom of the process. So let's go Sixers, baby. 10-9-8.
See you.
Bring it in.
All right, y'all.
Later.